ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदिरे नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यभागवतसेवया भागवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं गुरोश्रीयुतकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधयितं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा श्रीविशाखाविदांश्च हे कृष्णाकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। Welcome to this discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are right now discussing chapter 6, and we are in shloka number, just titled Dhyana Yoga, and we are discussing shloka number 32. The shloka is Atmapaumyena Sarvatra Samam Pashyati Arjuna Sukham va yadi va dukkam Sayogi Paramo Mataha. Is a perfect yogi who, by comparison of his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress. O Arjuna. In our previous discussion on this shloka, we discussed about the progression in realization, of absolute truth. So from Brahman to Paramatma and Bhagwan. There is a deeper sense of progression here, and this deeper sense of progression takes us to a broader vision in shloka number 6.31 and 6.32. Shloka number 27 and 28 majorly talk about Brahman. Sukhena Brahma Samsparshan Atyantam Shukam Ashnute. Sukhena Brahma Samsparshan. Then shloka number 29 talks about Sarvabhutastam Atmana, which is all living beings are situated at the spiritual level, and we see Paramatma. This is talking about Paramatma realization. Shloka number 30 and 31 talk about Bhagavan realization. Bhagavan pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tashyam na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati, and sarvabhuta sthitam yoma bhajati ekatvam asita sarvata vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. Here we clearly see Krishna is using ma, mai, aham, me, ma, vartama. So all this talk about signify that it is Lord Krishna who is Bhagavan. Now coming to shloka number 32, if you read the translation of the shloka, it says, "Is a perfect yogi who, by comparison of his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and distress." O Arjuna. So this talks about vision towards all living beings. This verse gives the conclusion that one should see all living beings equally based on the spiritual equality as being parts and parcels of Krishna. The key point to understand here is that the words Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan are used interchangeably within the Vedic literature. Why so? These are all terms, and sometimes they refer to name, sometimes they refer to concept. This Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan can be name or concept. Now, if you take this shloka number 1.3.28, Ete cham sakala pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indrari Vyakulam Lokam, Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. All the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the peace. Krishna is referred as Bhagavan in this shloka. But we see that within Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna and Vishnu are interchangeably used. Now, if we come to shloka number in Bhagavatam 7.4.37, Yasta Kridanako Balo Jadavattan Manastaya Krishna Griha Giritatma Naveda Jagat Idrisham. From the very beginning of his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj was uninterested in childish playthings. Indeed, he gave them up altogether and remained silent and being fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Since his mind was always affected by Krishna consciousness, he could not understand how the world goes on being fully absorbed in activities of sense gratification. This is particularly the Narsimha Leela, but still we see the word Krishna is used. The concept of Bhagwan and how Krishna is Bhagwan is once introduced in Srimad Bhagavatam in this shloka 1.3.828. Then we see that there are multiple um, descriptions of the Lord by multiple discussions um, and about the Lord by various devotees in different contexts, different threads of conversation. In all these scenarios, the terms are mixed. The term sometimes they refer Supreme Personality of God as Paramatma, sometimes they refer to him as Brahman, sometimes they refer to him as Bhagavan. Sometimes Krishna is referred as Vishnu, and sometimes Vishnu is referred as Krishna. So this is there is a mix here. So once the technical definition of Krishna and Vishnu is completed in Srimad Bhagavatam, then for all practical purposes, the terms are interchangeably used. Okay. At the end of Rasa dance, if you take end of Rasa dance, this one is taken from chapter 33. The title of the chapter is the Rasa dance. It is taken from Canto 10. Vikriditam Brajavadubir ch Vishnoho श्रद्धान्वितो अनुशृणुयात् अत वर्णयेद्यः भक्तिं परं भगवति प्रतिलभ्य कामं यद्रोगम् असौ अपि हिनोति अचिरेण धीरः. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs, the young gopis of Vrindavana, will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. Thus, he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of heart. Thus, names and terms are verbal. um, Generally, names and terms are verbal and concepts are intellectual. These tools for comprehension, um, these are tools for comprehension, especially the names, terms, and concepts are used for comprehension for deeper understanding. Either way, we are using them to understand things in a deeper perspective, whether we interchangeably use them. And we say that they are interchangeably used, we need to apply the right understanding. If Krishna is called as Brahman or Krishna is called as Paramatma, we should understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead And by calling Krishna Brahman, the devotee is glorifying the Lord. Vishnu in Rasa dance can only refer to Krishna. Krishna Gragrasta in Prahlad pastimes is a generic use of word for Krishna consciousness. In this way, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan can be used interchangeably. For example, Brahman may be used to call Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Paramatma may be used to refer to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna may be used to refer to as Paramatma or Brahman. Sometimes Vishnu may be used to refer to Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. Thus, we need to understand the meaning of these words. We need to understand the broad philosophy, and we need to understand the various concepts. And if we correlate in the context and the term used, then we will understand the what is being discussed in the right way. That is why it is important for us to understand these concepts, understand the purpose of Srila Prabhupada the right way. We need to read Srimad Bhagavatam. We can listen to different lectures, but it is necessary that we spend personal time in understanding Srila Prabhupada's purpose. When we say Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan are progressive states of realization, we refer to progression in understanding the concept of absolute truth. Brahman is all pervading, impersonal aspect of the absolute truth. Paramatma refers to the localized manifestation of the absolute truth. Refer to the localized. And sloka number and Bhagwan refers to all attractive transcendental person. All three are transcendental spiritual. Our perception of this takes us to a specific level. In these verses 6.27 to 6.32, the yogi's progression to higher level of realization from Brahman to Paramatma to Bhagavan is explained. These verses can be interpreted differently, and hence different acharyas interpret the flow of thought in a different ways. This is one way of looking at it and understand the progression of realization in a systematic way. When we say Krishna's words can be interpreted differently by different acharyas, it means Krishna's words have unlimited meanings and unlimited imports. This does not mean any meaning and any import is correct. The ultimate meaning and import should align with the final conclusion and meaning, which is Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Taja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasyani Masucha. We need to surrender to Krishna and consider him as a supreme personality of God. That is the final conclusion. This conclusion actually means two things. One is the potency of Krishna is inconceivable. Second, everything in the world happens to for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of God. So Krishna is Achintya, Krishna is Akhila Rasamukta Murti. So these are the final conclusion. The meanings and imports should align to this conclusion. This means that Mayavadi's interpretations, materialist interpretations are not right. Interpretation should be consistent with overall philosophy and conclusion of message. That is why Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita is called as Bhagavad Gita as it is because it matches the final conclusion and meaning of what Krishna wanted to convey to Arjuna. Therefore, in this sloka 6.27 to 6.32, we are looking at the flow of thought which aligns with the commentary of Srila Prabhupada. This helps us to understand the evolution of the idea in the right way. There is one sloka, one point which is always coming, which is darshana, and we can see there is a word samadarshana. What does this Samadarshana mean? It is important for us to understand this word term Samadarshana. Darshana means direct sight or philosophical insight. When we go to a temple, we see deities. This is darshana. It can also be philosophical insight. Um, we see that Krishna is appearing, is so merciful that he is appearing in the form of deities. So this is a philosophical insight. Samadarshana. Samadarshana means seeing soul or super soul or both. In 5.18 shloka, Krishna is saying, Vidya Vinaya Sampane, Brahmane Gavi Astini, Sunichaiva Swapakecha, Panditaha Samadarshana. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision, a learned and a gentle Brahma, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater, which is who's an outcast. Okay. In 5.18, both visions, that is, it could be referring either to super soul or it could refer to soul. Both, it can refer to both of them, but both the meanings are latent. It is not very clearly spoken by Krishna. They are not clearly spoken by Krishna. But in 6.29, सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि च आत्मनि ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र samuddarshanah. A true yogi absorbs me in all beings and also sees every being. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same supreme Lord, everywhere. This is referring specifically to super soul. This is talking about super soul. Now, we get a question. Is the Samadarshana talking about Mayava? Is this referring to Mayava? No, it is talking about Supreme Personality of God everywhere. Mayavadi's propositions are insidious. Mayavadi's proposition, sense of oneness, also forces that everything else is illusion. They say that there is only one thing, that is Brahman. Everything else is illusion, which is that Tattvatra. They call it as Tattvatra. Mayavadis, they call this world the Jiva. Uh, they are this material world, the whatever activities we do here, and um, this material world, everything is an illusion. So this is a very offensive proposition. Uh, this is not supported by Bhagavad Gita. So Jiva, Jagat, Jagatisha, they are all considered as proposition or products of illusion. That is what Mayavada claims, but this is not supported by Bhagavad Gita. This 6.29 is talking about Jagatisha, who is present in every living entity, and they live. This material world is part of creation of the Lord. It is temporary, and it is created for the living entities to realize the necessity to dovetail their life for satisfaction of Jagatisha and go back home to the spiritual world. Jiva are part and parcel of Krishna. So all these three are not illusion. They are very much fact. Only thing is Jagat is temporary. This material world is temporary. So that is what is the right way of understanding. Now, when we see Dhyana Yoga, what is the role of Krishna in this? So there are three shlokas in which Krishna is referring to himself. प्रशान्तात्म विगतिपे ब्रह्मचारी व्यतिस्तता न साम्य मच्चितो युक्त आसीत मत्पर मच्चित्तो. Meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Machitto yukta asita matpara. This can be an object, not goal of meditation. And then 6.15, Yunjaneva Sadatmanam Yogi Niyata Manasa Shanti Nirvana Paramam Mat Samastam Adigachati. So Mat Samasta means attains my abode or attains my position in spiritual sky. Thus, practicing constant control of body, mind, and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, this mind regulator, attains to the kingdom of God or abode of Krishna by cessation of material existence. So he gets delivered from the material existence and goes to the spiritual sky. In sloka number 6.30, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam cha Mai Pashyati Ashyam na Pranashyami Sachamena Pranashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to me. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra is a culmination of Dhyana Yoga, unbreakable perception of Krishna and relationship with Krishna. Now, here we need to understand one important thing. What is goal? What is uh, object of a study, and what is the goal of a study? The object of the study can be physics. A student is studying physics. His object of study is physics. But the goal of study is to get a job as a physics professor and become famous in the field. Therefore, goal and object can be different. When we approach Krishna as the goal of our life and practice yoga, it's a different thing. When we keep Krishna as the object and goal as something else, then we end up into different things. This is very, very important for us to understand. We will discuss this point in our future classes. Thank you very much. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Panchakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम भक्त